As an immigrant, I started my life in the shelter system. In the shelter, there was this old man, born Canadian, who was using drugs. Well, this was a new experience to me, just like any other newcomer. I had never seen something that I saw. This old man had a wound on his leg, that was always dripping blood. So he used to tie it with a piece of cloth. And every time he went to the toilet, he went with an injection or a needle. At first I didn't know exactly what was going on, but after some time, one day I found him putting the needle inside the wound. You can imagine someone injecting himself with a drug, but is injecting in the wound. I guess that's why the wound was not healing, because the more he used to pierce it with a needle, is the more it kept on being fresh and fresh. Every time he left the toilet, he was leaving blood on the toilet seat. Working in the shelter was not easy, because I witnessed how shelter workers had to toil with him, pick him up, because every time he took the drugs, he could fall off the toilet seat and then fall down, just dead asleep, with the wound dripping blood. So shelter workers were called by anybody who witnessed that, and they had to clean him up and take him to bed. Day in and day out, that was his life. His wound was always dripping with blood, even when he covered a piece of cloth. I took my time to do research and find out what exactly was this. I was new in Canada and I was just coming from Africa. It was a new experience. This was something new. All I know in Africa is some people using marijuana, and here I meet someone who is using an injection, and it was something new to me. The last time I saw this old man was a time when he fell off the toilet seat and hit his head down on the floor. Shelter workers were called and they took him away. From there, we never saw him again. We only got news that the man passed away. I guess he hit his head badly and he could not survive. Why am I bringing to you this story? I want us to dive into a video explaining to you which kind of drug led to the death of this man and how we can prevent it as a community. We all know there is a rising number of overdose cases of drug use in Toronto. This has become a public concern since the homeless are invading all public spaces like Union Station, Kensington Market, and so many places where people gather, which has left people with no choice but to vacate. It is confirmed on news networks like CBC News, BBC, and SBS that majority are abusing a drug called fentanyl. So today in this video, we are going to find out what is fentanyl and how can we stop this overdose epidemic. Come along with me, let's dive into the video. Fentanyl was created in 1959 by Dr. Paul Janssen as a surgical pain relief drug. It is 100 times more effective than morphine and 50 times more potent than heroin and an analgesic. Majority of people smoke it, they take it as a pill, others inject it into their bodies or even sniff it in powder form. When it reaches the body system, it brings relaxation, pain relief, euphoria, confusion, dizziness, nausea, vomiting, and so much more. Just like any other opioid drug, it gets addictive the more you use it, and before you know it, you are hooked. At first you may not find out, but some symptoms like clammy skin, change in pupil size, cyanosis, coma, and respiratory failure will be visibly indicating an overdose. It doesn't stop there. You start having multiple organ failure as the situation escalates. And according to statistics, USA has over 25% distribution of fentanyl consumption, with Canada's numbers also expected to rise by 2025. So what can we do as a community to fight this? Leave it in the comment section and give your suggestions. You never know. One suggestion can heal the world. Let's create a world where everyone is cared for, whether you're unprivileged or privileged. You should be in position to be cared for even when you have a mental health problem. Thank you for watching me. Have a blessed night.